Good afternoon, Evan. How are you today?
Oh, I'm great. Pennant race baseball, baby.
We are the New York Yankees. We don't need gimmicks. We're pinstripe guys. We don't put names on the back of our jerseys. We don't do anything that's untoward to the Yankee legacy of Babe Ruth and Mickey Mantle and Joe DiMaggio and Derek Jeter. And yet today we did. Supposedly, the New York Yankees collectively decided that they needed a mascot, that they needed a pet to have with them in the dugout. Now, to be fair, they do have a mascot and a pet. I used to call him Brett Gardner. But Brett Gardner's also played some big moments for them.
He plays every day for you now, pal.
The coach's son is what I really call him.
Yeah.
He has had a couple of very big hits over the last couple of weeks, right? No, they've got themselves a turtle, Evan, which to me should be flushed into the sewers of the Bronx immediately.
Yeah, this sounds very Met-like.
It is so Met-like it disgusts me.
And I say that as a Met fan who loves the Mets, and I'd get a kick out of it if it was the New York Mets.
Of course you are, like your stupid fake horse they're riding.
That's right.
And a stupid invented human being, Donnie Diesel.
Yeah.
This is so Met-esque, I hate it.
When it works, you love it. When it works, it's fun, it's cute. But I would expect this not to come from the New York Yankees.
Bronxie, they call him.
I mean, that's...
Well, I guarantee you that's Boone. Boone came up with this stupid name for this stupid turtle because he adds an E or an IE to everything, that guy. Right. Bronxie. So, yeah, Nasty Nestor Cortez has a turtle, and he's apparently been with the team since his little 6-game winning streak started.
He is responsible for the sweep of Texas and the sweep of Boston?
You know how that goes.
We're giving Bronxie all the credit for this?
It's all nonsense, but tonight's game and the rest of the this week, of course, must-see TV, must-watch TV.
Are you confident, though? Because this is a franchise that this season, it's been a unique year. I mean, here they are, 89 and 67. They're sitting in top wild card spot. But it's been unique from the nature of how inconsistent they've been.
But they've been consistent in the inconsistency.
Right, but you have no idea with a 6-game winning streak if now the downturn is coming. Or if this hot streak is going to ride out a little bit longer. I mean, it has been uncanny how streaky they've been. Well, so are you confident?
I'm beyond confident, Evan.
Why?
I'm beyond confident because it's something that you and I actually agreed to on yesterday.
What's that?
And that is, and I think I may have asked the question. You said 100% they do, Craig. What are you talking about? Mm-hmm. The New York Yankees have balls.
They do, yes.
The New York Yankees have a backbone.
Yes.
The New York Yankees have... at their own handling, have had more quote-unquote gut punch losses than most teams have in a couple of years. And as you, I think, correctly and adeptly said yesterday, this team has rebounded from every single one of them.
No doubt.
Not always right away, but they found a way to come back from what we thought were, that's it. Season-ending loss.
Dude, think about it. The winning streak, that incredible 13-game winning streak, started after the Field of Dreams game. What a brutal loss that was. So, yeah, they've taken a lot of gut punches, as Boone calls it, a lot of kicking the groins.
Lost, the Twins lost, the Mets lost.
And they've responded, but right now they're hot. And the one thing we saw after that 13-game winning streak ended was that they had one of their roughest stretches of the season. Yeah. That's how they responded to that incredible winning streak.
I think the 6-game streak isn't long enough for them to be out of it. That's how I view it. It's short. 6 games, it's a week, right? So, normally they own these, multiple week, either, crazy play like they did over a month starting in the first week of July, or early when they went through a 15-game streak where they were 5-10 or whatever it may have been. I'm uber confident because of the way they swept the Boston Red Sox in Fenway. They got great pitching.
That was how they won. And
their pitching staff is probably the healthiest it's been in months and months and months, if not the entire season, right? With Tyone's back now, knock on wood, he can pitch well tonight.
We'll start right
there. Coming back.
What do you expect right out of the gate from Jamison Tyone?
He was 5.
Okay. Guy hasn't pitched in about 3 weeks. I think his last start, if memory serves correct, was against Hyun-Jin Ryu and the Toronto Blue Jays on Labor Day. It's been a while. So the strength of the Yankees, especially in the sweep against the Boston Red Sox, is their starting pitching was pretty good. And their bullpen was awesome.
So I think I'm being reputable here. I'm not saying 6. You got to give me 5. because you haven't pitched in God knows how long. So I think if you get 5 legit innings out of J-Mo tonight, you take that and you pack it away and you go to the bullpen for 6, 7, 8, 9.
Well, you could also actually use Domingo Germán or Luis Severino and sort of use back-to-back starting pitchers in a way to try to get outs against this rugged Blue Jay lineup.
I think the Yankee pitching staff, as they get ready for the postseason, and again, it's a one-game wild card situation, which we'll get to in a week, of course, on October 5th, a week and whatever it is, a week and a half. But in a series, I think the Yankees are going to have better pitching than anyone they play
Well, you know
against.
what's crazy? You're 100% right about that. When you look at the Rays, and I hate to disrespect the Tampa Bay Rays because I get it. They've won the division. They ran away with this division. They prove everybody wrong every single year. But the New York Yankees have a better starting pitching staff than the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yep.
They just do. And so it is odd that if the Yankees can find a way into this wild card game, and they certainly have a big edge now going into these final 6 games, and they can win that wild card game with the best pitcher on the mound. Because Garrett Cole against Chris Sale, I'd feel good about Garrett Cole. I'd feel good about Garrett Cole against just about anybody at this point. You then would go into the postseason with a rotation that over the years has always been your biggest worry as a Yankee fan. I don't think it is this year.
Yeah, and that's we're getting way ahead of ourselves because it's all starting tonight. Playoff baseball essentially starts tonight. I've done all the math. I've crunched all the numbers. I even took out my old abacus, and I figured it out.
What have you figured out? I'm
2
curious.
against Tampa, 2 against Toronto, 1 against Tampa.
Done. You're right.
Done.
You
That's
figured
it.
out good math.
Yeah.
The New York Yankees.
2-1.
And it's
That's
funny.
all you got to do, 2-1.
It's funny how 3 days change everything. Now what they need to do over these next 6 games is not F up.
Right.
Like literally, they have now put themselves in a spot where, all right, don't fall on your face and you're in the wild card game. And I think you'd agree with me. As much as you'd love for the game to be at Yankee Stadium.
Of course I want it in the Bronx so that Bronxie can see it.
It's not it's not that big of a deal. It really isn't.
It's not. It's not big as
not
far
getting
as
nuts about
winning
this.
and losing. No, but we want it in our building. We want 50,000, 46,000
Well, that's okay.
Yankee fans because that's. I mean, that's right.
I get it, but
Big
if
Show
that's
Bob,
your
that's
bar,
what we want.
if the bar is I want that game in my building, well, then it's more than not effing up.
Yes.
Like, they're going to probably have to win 5 out of 6.
Well, you've got the Red Sox sweeping.
Well, they're playing the Orioles and the Nationals.
Yeah,
you almost
listen,
have to assume that.
Minnesota was playing Toronto.
I understand.
They took the first 2 of that 4-game series.
You're right, Craig, and anything could happen, but don't expect it to happen.
Fair enough.
So if you want to host a wild card game, if you want to be at that game a week from tonight at Yankee Stadium, then you got to win 5 out of 6, 4 out of 6. But if you're just saying to yourself, look, I just want to be in the wild card game, I'm handing the ball to Garrett Cole, you're right. If you get 3-3, including 2 out of 3 this weekend, you'd have to feel pretty damn good about yourself.
Yeah, no doubt. So I'm all pumped up. If you're a diehard Yankee fan, let's bring the noise right now. This is for the rest of this week into next week. You know, the Jets and Giants suck. We got something positive cooking right now, and that's Yankee baseball. We'll get your calls and all of it, 877-337-6666. Now, there's an interesting thing happening right now in regards to the owner of the New York Giants, Evan, of course, John Mara. There are people now who are very uncomfortable with the fact that John Mara got booed on Sunday before the Eli Manning ceremony. Okay. Well, he deserved to be booed. But there are people now lashing out that John Mara does care, like defending John Mara. And I want to be clear about this. John Mara didn't ask anybody to defend him that I'm aware of. John Mara's a big boy. John Mara witnessed the 1970s as a much younger guy and the Giant fan base revolting against his father and the family and the New York Giants' ineptitude of the 1970s, the plane flying over, all the crap we saw, right? That historically, at least, we've read about if you weren't alive for, right? So I find it interesting. And this goes back to my thing with you about how certain people view the Giants differently than they view other certain franchises here because of the historical track record of Wellington Mara, of the 4 Super Bowl titles, et cetera, et cetera. But John Mara should be put on blast, every much so that Steve Cohen should be, now that he's the owner. James Dolan should be, he's the owner of the Knicks and the Rangers. Joe Tsai should be, as the owner of the Nets, and on and on and on and on and on. Because they have failed their fan base. period, stop. So I find it interesting that even people like the great Phil Simms makes it his business yesterday, and he rarely talks about the Giants positively or negatively because he feels like it's probably improper over all these years as a Super Bowl winning quarterback to say things about the franchise, and I respect that. But even Phil came out and said, John Mara cares, John Mara this, John Mara that. Bottom line is this, my memo to the New York Giant organization. Nobody gives a rat's ass about how John Mara's feeling today. Nobody cares if he knocked over a couple garbage cans. That doesn't make him more relatable to the fan base. You know what the fans want? Tell them, Evan.
Winning.
Period. Stop. Exclamation point.
Why do you think James Dolan is disliked by a lot of Knick fans and some Ranger fans, but mostly Knick fans over the last decade?
NBA titles.
They haven't won.
No championship.
They haven't won. I would say this about James Dolan. I think you'd agree. You know him better than I do. I think James Dolan cares.
I don't think he will die a happy man without a title.
Okay.
I truly believe
James Dolan cares about the New York Knicks. James Dolan's always cared about the New York Knicks. Even when he was making decisions that drove people nuts, he cared about the New York Knicks. So here's the point. Nobody cares, like you said, if John Mara cares. That's not the criticism of John Mara or James Dolan or any other owner in this town. It's not do you care, it's what are you going to do about it?
Yep.
That's what we care about. The losses have been raining in at a historic pace over the last 5 years. What are you going to do about it? And kicking garbage cans over while it's a nice visual is not what we're talking about. So anytime you as an owner want to get the fans on your side, I want you to think of one person, and that's Clint Capella. What you going to do about it?
Well, it's going to start from the top and move down. But I want to make that memo out there. If you're a diehard Giant fan, you don't want to hear people defending John Mara. And I say that I have great admiration and respect for John Mara and his family. We all do. It's like one of those things that you don't even have to say it anymore. We all respect the royalty that the Mara family is here in New York sports, going back literally now 100 years. That being said, there's also a generation of Giant fans who know nothing about that as far as real-life experience. And they want you to put a winner on the field. We're not even asking for a Super Bowl championship. We're asking, can you be relevant? Can you put a team on the field that can win enough games to be alive for the playoffs on merit? And nobody feels bad for Woody Johnson, nor should they. So I want to make sure that it's a level playing field. Nobody feels bad for John Mara or for any New York Giant executive that may have kicked a garbage can because you're 0-3 again. We want you to be better. We want you to build a better football team. And we deserve it. So get your act together and start the rebuilding now. Thank God for the Yankees. Thank God for the Yankees. That's why I put out those bracelets 10 years ago, 12 years ago now. TGFTY. Thank God for the Yankees.
You better realize the Yankees can only last for maybe a week. You don't know how long the Yankees
are making a deep run into Halloween.
Are they? Are you confident about this?
I am very confident.
I ask you, and you don't have to answer this now because I know you like time to figure things out.
Yeah.
Craig nailed something on Friday, and he deserves credit for it.
Thank you.
Craig came on the radio when the Yankee fan was not confident. I put a Twitter poll out there. 77% of Yankee fans said, I'm not confident going into the weekend. And Craig was. He didn't say the Yankees would win the series. That's easy. He said they're going to sweep the series, and they did. So as we embark on a monstrous 3-game series up in Toronto, what are they going to do, Craig?
You want my prediction now?
Whenever you're ready to deem us,
I've already thought the whole thing through.
You've broken it all down.
Broke the whole thing down. Yankees are going to win 2 out of 3 against Toronto.
2 out of 3.
Yep.
That is huge because let me do some math for you.
Yeah, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1.
If the New York Yankees win 2 out of 3, that means the Yankees would have a 3-game lead with 3 games to play.
That's right.
Which means unless the Yankees got swept and the Blue Jays did some sweeping, the Blue Jays could not catch the New York Yankees.
That is exactly right. I believe they win 2 out of 3. I can't predict the Tampa series because some games may not matter. So we'll see how the Toronto series plays out first.
I want to ask you one other thing,
I'll give you that prediction.
Because I think this matters.
Yeah. And I'm on fire right now, so
you're on fire.
Listen to me.
Which game are they losing? Is it tonight? Because there'll be some panic if it's tonight.
Game 3.
Oh, so they're going to win the first 2?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wow.
They win tonight. They come back with Garrett tomorrow. They win with him.
And then you lose to Robbie
And then
Ray.
you lose
have it all
to
figured
Ray.
out. It's look at you. You're really breaking down the pitching
I didn't even know Robbie
matchups.
Ray's pitching game 3, but now I do. So now I feel even better about it.
Yeah.
And you'll see how it plays out. It's the side story is that Garrett Cole start tomorrow and Ray start on Thursday. Might very well decide the Cy Young Award, too.
Oh, yeah, they're close enough.
Right?
I think Robbie's got a slim edge, but no, honestly, I don't think any Yankee fan cares about that right now.
No, I'm just saying it's a good little side story.
It's a side story because if Garrett Cole wins the Cy Young, right, but he gets bombed in the wild card game, you are not going to give a damn about the Cy Young Award. You're just not.
No.
So really it's about what he does in that one game because that's going to decide a lot about how we view Garrett Cole. He pitched well in Game 5 last year in the divisional series. It's all forgotten about. And that's the other thing. Giancarlo Stanton had a great weekend. He was amazing, right?
Yeah.
We had a caller the other day that said, quote, Giancarlo Stanton earned his pinstripes. Here's why that's not true. I'm going to give you a fact. Last year in the divisional series, Giancarlo Stanton hit 5 home runs and drove in 10 runs.
Yeah.
But they lost.
Pretty good, though.
And yet, here we are a year later saying, now he's earned his pinstripes. You know when he's going to earn his pinstripes to some of the diehard Yankee fans?
Yeah.
When they win.
November 3rd.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, well, let's just get there. We're going to have a lot of fun today with you. 877-337-6666. It's Carton and Roberts on the Fan live in the Town Fair Tire Studios, powered by Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. I want to say one quick thing if I can. You know what? I'll wait on it. I apologize for that. We lost a close friend last night. I'll just do it now. For many, many years on this radio station, there's a friend in Jersey who went by John from Hazlitt. He has been a caller to this radio station since the station first started. He was a fan of mine and became a friend of mine over the course of the last quarter century. 25 years dating back to my time in Jersey, WNEW, here at the Fan. Boomer, Jerry, and Al got to know him well. Boomer actually sent him a Samsung television.
Wow.
So that he could watch Met games in his garage during the summer. He loved to bust balls. He loved to have a good time. He's an amazing dad and husband, and was just an all-around great guy, and was a very, very loyal friend. And wrote to me when I was away, and was just a great guy. He actually worked at a Brooklyn paper company, and his company was responsible for making all the confetti that rains down during the Canyon of Heroes. So here's a lifelong diehard Met fan who did miss an opening day, Evan, for like 30 years and was making confetti for Yankee parades. And I adored him. And he was always up for a laugh and a good time. I literally texted with him a week ago today. He had a Tommy Lasorda story he wanted to share with us on the air. And sadly, we never got to hear it. And I got into work today and found out that last night he died suddenly. And it's a tremendous loss. And I feel for his family, who's now, this untimely death that was not expected. And I just wanted to use the platform, this radio station that he adored. Many of you have heard him call shows that I've been involved with. I'm sure he called you and Joe, and of course the morning show. His name is John Chaffee. He, again, was known as John from Hazlitt. And for those of you that know him, knew him, or heard him, it's a terrible loss. My day was sent sideways as a result of it, as many of yours was. And I want to just send thoughts and prayers out to the Chaffee family and to his friends. He is already missed, and I loved him dearly. I counted him as a very loyal, solid friend in good times and bad times. And I thought it was important that we acknowledge that. And I know it's morbid and it brings the show down. There's no right time to have that conversation. But I love you, John, and miss you, and wish the best for your family moving forward.